Hey everybody, true to form, I'm back. I just wanted to kick it off here in 2017. So freaking happy, can't even explain how happy I am to start this year because so many good things happened to my team and I last year, and we set the stage for 2017. I think what's going to happen to us this year is going to be even better. So just wanted to start off by saying welcome back from the break. I hope everyone's ready to get it in like we are. Really big news next week. We're doing our first fuck up nights of 2017 in Dumbo Heights at WeWork, and we have the biggest speaker we have ever had since we launched. And so our headliner is this guy. You might have heard about the place he started, but his name is Hugh Pinero, and he's the founder of XM Radio. Pretty amazing, super magnetic guy, super cool to talk to, lots of great experience he's going to share with us and the audience, so super stoked for that. And if that wasn't enough, my friend NC from Alley, one of the bigger, more well-known co-working spaces in the city, is going to be also speaking with us that same night. So we have three great speakers, but these two guys are huge. NC's really well known in New York City, and Hugh is obviously very well known because of XM Radio, which has become ubiquitous for satellite radio. So stoked for that. Go grab tickets on PTix. Look for Fuck Up Nights NYC. That event is going to be on January 11th, which is next Wednesday. So aside from that, today's conversation, really, I wanted to bring up this whole thing about physical and mental fitness as an entrepreneur is just as important as, startup learnings, so to speak. Everyone talks about what you're doing right and wrong in your startup and how to be the best founder and entrepreneur that you can. But part of that recipe is also having really dialed in your physical health and your mental health, so you as the founder or entrepreneur can perform at your peak and get these things done, because we all know being an entrepreneur is not easy. It's pretty demanding. It requires a lot from you. It's ever changing, and the only way you can do that stuff is if you get yourself dialed in. So I read an article in Outdoor Magazine just over the break, and it talked about what would be like the nearly ideal schedule for someone in the day that would allow them to get a lot of things done, stay focused, stay on top of things, stay mentally and physically fit while you're going through all of that nonsense, and basically being barraged all day long with the things that you get barraged with in life every day. And actually, there's a couple really big takeaways I took back from that, and I started employing them the week before we came back from break, and I've noticed a massive, massive change in my ability to sit down and focus and get work done and actually accomplish a lot in the day. And that's saying a lot because I grew up with ADHD, so it's typically harder for me versus a normal, regular person to focus when I need to focus, and this definitely helped me get there. So I wanted to share some of that with you, and some of the main takeaways with that I'm now doing is I'm already working like at my desk and working on it at 8 a.m. Sometimes a little bit before that, 7:45 even, and that has been amazing for me. I feel like I get a leg up on the day. I get a lot accomplished early on, which kind of fuels me for the rest of the day. Super important. But the first thing it has me do the minute I get out of bed, literally, is I do some meditation. I've never really done meditation before in my life, but the meditation has turned out to be pretty amazing. It's only 5-10 minutes or more in my morning. It happens right after I get out of bed. It kind of centers me because it's focused on breathing and letting the thoughts and things come to you. And I really have found that as something that has really kind of helped dial me in. Right after that, I'm cooking breakfast, but there's other really cool things that have been incorporated in my routine I've never done before. Every day I'm doing this meditation. I'm doing some visualization. There's a period of the day where you just take time out and you literally sit down and start visualizing what your day might look like, what your week might look like, what your goals are, but visualize something that's really important that you're working towards. And I'm sure everyone's heard of this before, but the fact that this program has me doing it every single day, even just in the last 10 days, has already proven to be pretty impactful to me. And I've seen some of that stuff already start to happen as a result of it. So definitely really cool. The other thing that it had me doing, or has me doing, is journaling. And again, that's something that I've never really done that much, and I've never really incorporated a lot into my workout or my routine, so to speak. And this video blog actually is part of my journaling exercise every single day. There's a specific time slot in the day that I allot to doing this, and the journaling allows me to empty out some thoughts and get clarity on some things that are really important that are happening with me, and this is one of them, is this new routine or whatever that I'm working on. And then obviously exercise is also a really big thing, getting the blood flowing, getting that visceral workout physically, gets everything kind of moving the right way. And so there's a period for exercise in there. Typically I've always found it hard to do it in the afternoons because I just don't find myself being that motivated to do it after I'm worn out from the day. So I usually used to do it in the morning, but this routine actually has me doing it at 6 p.m. at night, or in the afternoon, late afternoon, whatever you want to call that, before I even eat dinner. And so I've found that based on all the other things it has me doing, by the time I hit 6 p.m. to do the exercise, I'm actually motivated to do it, and I'm actually performing pretty well. And all those other things leading up to that point have allowed me, or my body rather, to be better prepared, joints lubricated, everything's warmed up and moving to do the exercise, as opposed to trying to do it cold in the morning after some extensive stretching. So I actually kind of enjoy that better, and that was a huge surprise to me. So I just wanted to share that with you too. And of course, healthy eating. That's something I've been big on for a really long time, but the healthy eating thing is really important, but staging the meals at a certain time of the day with strategic points where you add in some snacks, light lunch, big important breakfast with all the really important pieces to it, and then eating a light dinner with few carbs unless you're doing massive workouts. All kind of different changes. I'm not really a nutritionalist, so I can't speak to you from that perspective, but I can tell you that all of these things individually aren't really like the silver bullet to any of this, but it's a little bit, you add a little bit of good stuff to your routine by doing each one of these things, then you add them all up, and cumulatively you get a great result. And that's kind of what I'm trying to express to you. And then the last thing is, it's got me going to bed, or wants me to go to bed by 10 o'clock. I haven't really been able to do that as easily because my body typically will only let me do 6. But I've managed with this routine already to flip to 7, and that's also been an added difference that I've noticed in terms of my focus and the way things are working for me. So my next goal is to dial it back from 11 p.m. sleep back to the 10 p.m. sleep that it wants me to get, which is early. And there are going to be days where I'm grinding it out like an entrepreneur does, a founder does, but those days, obviously, it's not going to work out the way I want. But for the most part, I'm trying to adhere to that and get my ideal 8 hours of sleep. And this goes back to something I used to talk about, where I read a book years ago called The Millionaire Mind. I'm trying to think of the author right now, and I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it basically compared the lifestyles of 25 different millionaires, and they were trying to draw the correlations between what worked and what didn't work for these people specifically, and why they were successful. And the one thing that every single one of them did exactly the same, and it was the only thing that they did all exactly the same, is they all got exactly 8 hours of sleep, not a minute more or less. And that's always kind of stuck in my mind, and I've been trying to figure out how to achieve that, because my body, as I've gotten older, wants me to sleep less and wake up earlier. And this routine is actually gives me some hope, and that I might actually achieve that 8 hours of sleep. And I'm really kind of excited for what my performance levels will be once I hit that. So that's another thing. So All in all, this has been a pretty amazing thing. I highly recommend everyone that's watching this to try some of these things, incorporate them in your routine, or go check out the article in Outdoor Mag, and really try to think about you as a process and a machine, just like anything else in your startup. And since you're the one that's doing everything, or you're the focal point where it all begins and ends, you're probably the most important thing that needs to be figured out in terms of a process or operation or whatever, because you're the one that's driving everything else. So if you can dial yourself in, you'll see gains across the board and everything else that you're doing. So give it a shot. Let me know in the comments below, like what your experience was, if anything worked for you, what it didn't work for you. I'd love to hear about it. Please like us, leave us a thumbs up, and share this video with your friends. And I'll see you tomorrow. Good luck, everyone. Peace.